Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of In the Gallery with Laura Ali. I'm your host, Laura Ali, and today we are going to get into some things. Today, we are going to get into the case of Robert Tellis. Now, I have talked about Robert Tellis briefly in this week's episode, but today we're going to get into the cross-examination of Robert Tellis. He murdered Jeff German. He murdered Jeff German because Jeff German was a reporter who did an extensive article on the inappropriate behavior and favoritism that was happening in I think the county clerk's office, or I forget exactly the name of his title right now. But the point is, he was up to some shady business, okay? Handling estate sales and looking after the people of Las Vegas when they had no one to look after their estate. So we're going to get into the cross-examination. I love a good attorney, a good prosecution attorney that can really get in it. And this prosecution attorney really gets in it. So we're going to get in it with him. All right. So no delay at all. Let's get right into it.
Yes.
Okay, you may begin your cross-examination.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Sir.
And it's Mr. Tejas, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to start first with see if we can agree on a couple of things, okay? I was listening to your testimony. I'm going to publish States 311. I was listening to your testimony, and if I heard you correctly, many times during your direct you stated that this is the killer of Mr. Gammon, correct?
I didn't necessarily, but I'm sure it is.
I mean, if I heard you correctly, you kept saying, looking at the killer, this guy. I know you're not saying that's me, but you don't doubt that whoever that is killed Mr. Gammon. That would be fair, right?
Yes.
Okay. You had mentioned one of the things that struck you was you watched the autopsy, or you saw the autopsy photos, and you were struck by the violence of it, correct?
No, sir.
No, you did not.
The attorney has a special way of rolling his eyes in sort of like an acknowledgement, like, no, you did not. And it's like, he's just like, this is BS, but he can't call him out. I love how he calls attention immediately to that photo off the bat, because he's saying, you're admitting, you're saying this is the killer, right? Like, this guy did do the murder, right? You do concede to that. And he's like, yeah, I kind of do. So now all he has to do is convince the jury that he is that guy. Like, off the bat. And this is the thing, Robert Tellis is not smart. He actually went to law school, but he's not smart. And he thinks that he always has one leg up, or one point up from the person that he's talking to. And it's like, you don't, Robert. You're not that smart at all. You're actually quite stupid.
Were you bothered by the photographs?
I was.
Why is that?
Gruesome. I'm not used to seeing dead people.
Okay. I think you said it was ugly. Is that correct?
I may have.
All right. And you had told this jury that you felt like it looked like someone who knew what they were doing. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You believe this was a professional hit?
And that's what I believe.
Okay. And you believe this killer is kind of almost like someone hired to do this job, like an assassin, essentially, right?
That is what I believe, yes, sir.
All right. Now, I want to take a look at this picture for a second.
I hate to pause it so much, but you guys know I'm going to talk. So the thing about it is, I feel like Robert wants to make it seem like this guy is an assassin, not only to take suspicion away from himself. Yes, that's part of it, sure. But the other part is almost to big himself up, almost to make himself feel more grandiose or more accomplished or more skillful than he really is. He wants to say, this is an assassin. This is a top level type person that you or we're not on this person's level. He's not that. He is not some major assassin, but he's trying to sell it like he is. He's trying to say, like, this person is that, knowing that it's him, because he wants to make the person seem on a higher level than they really are. That's just him and his ego trying to big himself more, like up more. He's trying to big himself up more because he's trying to make himself seem like some great assassin. Do you guys get that? Like, I don't know if I just picked up on that, but to me, like, that's something that stuck out. It's like he really tries to post, like, oh no, this is an assassin. This is like some high level James Bond type assassin, like John Wick. Like, what? Like, it's not that.
Um,
I'm so happy they showed the picture again. I swear I'm gonna shut up. But what is that? What is that? What are you wearing? You have on a huge sombrero. You got on a bright orange construction vest, huge backpack. Like, you are the most noticeable person in the world right now. Like, I see you walk down the street. I'm gonna remember Tuesday, 1 o'clock. I saw this guy walk down the street in the weirdest outfit in Las Vegas. Who's walking around Vegas like this? And he thinks this is what an assassin wears.
the assassin seems to be wearing a giant sun hat. It's a pretty big hat, right?
Yes, sir.
It's fairly noticeable, right?
Yes, sir.
You think that might attract attention?
I would think so.
Okay, but this is a professional.
Right.
All right. And this professional is also wearing a bright orange shirt, correct?
Yes, sir.
Professional?
Yes, sir.
But wouldn't that attract attention?
I think that's part of the reason, actually. If I could elaborate.
No. You believe that professional assassins want to draw attention to themselves when they're carrying out murder. That's your testimony?
When they're framing someone, yes, sir.
So the answer to my question is yes. You believe professional assassins like to draw attention to themselves.
It depends on what the nature of their goal is, and if it's to frame someone, yes, sir.
So the answer to my question is yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Your professional assassin is wearing a big saddlebag, right?
It's a big bag.
Right. He's wearing Nikes, correct?
Correct.
Not generic shoes, Nikes, isn't that right?
Right.
Okay. Gray Nikes, is that right?
Correct.
All right. Let's cue over to the overhead, if we could, or to the computer, if we could. All right. I'm playing the PIO video from Exhibit 338. So this is your assassin walking in the middle of the day, correct?
My assassin?
All right. This is the assassin, the killer, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Seems to have a little bit of a hitch in his getup.
Yes. I don't know. I guess it's an opinion.
And you don't disagree that's from, you've seen all the footage. That's the killer's car, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a maroon Denali. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You own a maroon Denali. Isn't that correct?
I do, sir. Yes, sir.
Guys, I'm sorry. He owns the same vehicle as the murderer. He tried to come in and say the assassins knew what vehicle I drove, so they got the same vehicle as me. I'm sorry, but no. There's no assassin that has it. I think the assassin that he's talking about is a movie assassin. I've never actually seen a true criminal case And maybe because the assassin is so good, right? Maybe the assassin is so well planned and thought out that they never got caught. And I never got to analyze the criminal case. But the criminal cases I have analyzed in the past, and I know that they did hire an assassin. The assassin was never skillful enough to recreate your schedule to the point where they have you offline at the same time you commit the murder. I've never seen that type of assassin. I've never seen the assassin. I've seen them rent the car, very similar to your car. I have seen that. But to have the same exact car, it's not a similar car, it's the same exact car as what you have. Okay. Okay, we didn't even get there yet. Let me not get ahead of myself, guys. This is Robert Tellis.
Let's look at it for a second. So there's no doubt that the killer took a maroon Yukon Denali to Garriman's house to perform, as you have explained to us, to be some sort of professional hit.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'd like to publish the PowerPoint, if we could.
What exhibit is that?
It's still from Exhibit 338, Your Honor. But it is the PowerPoint video. And I want to turn our attention to slide number 72. This is after Mr. Garriman has been killed, but if we watch this footage, isn't it true that we see the killer come back to the scene?
Yes.
And the killer seems to be looking around as if he forgot something, right?
I've watched the video. I don't know what he's doing.
We don't know.
Right.
But
Right.
we know professionally.
You know exactly what he's doing because you were him. What do you mean you don't know what he's doing? What did you forget? What did you forget, Robert? This professional assassin that's running back like, oh no, I forgot.
Killer killed someone in broad daylight, made it a point to park on a completely different street, but then for some reason decided, oops, I forgot something, and drove all the way back.
My belief is that he wanted to make sure to commit the crime, and then when he was done, he wanted to make sure the SUV was seen in front of the house.
So let me get this straight. We've watched the footage, right, Mr. Tellis?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that the Yukon parks on Wintergreen initially?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the streets, but I mean, if you say so, yes.
I love how the prosecution has so much fun. He's like, oh, so that's what we're doing now. Like,
We'll put it to you this way. He didn't park on Bronze Circle, did he?
Not initially, no.
And by your logic, if the killer wanted to be seen, shouldn't he have just parked on Bronze Circle originally?
Well, I would have thought that, if he wanted to make sure he got the job done first, that he would not have actually parked the SUV in front to begin with. That's my belief because,
okay.
Again, that isn't me.
So you have a killer who goes all the way out of his way to park on a completely different street, walks the whole length, does the killing, drives out of the complex, and then makes a U-turn, comes all the way back into the complex, pulls up, gets out, looks around for something, and you believe that's all part of the assassin's plan?
And again, I don't know what he's doing in that video.
No, I'm just using your words, your thought process.
Absolutely.
You believe that was all part of the plan?
I do. It wasn't me, so.
Sir, doesn't that look a little amateurish?
I would like to think that I wouldn't use my own car if I was actually.
I would like to think that I wouldn't use my own car. Now, I'm not a criminal psychologist, although I would love to be, and I'm not a linguistic psychologist or whatever you would call that person that analyzes the words that people say. But I would like to think, what does that mean? It's almost like he's saying, I wish I didn't do that. Like, I would like to think I didn't, like, I wouldn't have done that. It's like, yeah, you would like to think you didn't, but you did do it. You did it. We're watching you do it. I would like to think you didn't do it too. I would like to think you didn't murder Jeff Gurman, but you did. So where does that end? I would like to think a lot of things. I would like to think I'm a millionaire, but I'm not. I would like to think. Where does that end? You would be up there defending, I didn't do it. That's fine and fair, but I didn't do it. I don't know who that person is. I didn't do it. That's not me. I did not do it. Not I would like to think. You would like to think what?
Person who did this.
Well, it's,
So
well, doesn't it look a little amateurish to take the steps to park on the side of the street, then you forget what you dropped, probably a murder weapon, who knows, wear this goofy sun hat, a bright orange shirt. I mean, you really think that looks like a professional killer?
I do. Again,
Okay.
it wasn't me, so
Okay.
yes.
All right.
The prosecution's straight roasting him right now. I don't know if you guys are picking up on this, but the prosecution is straight roasting him right now because he knows that it's him. And he's like, you're an amateur. Who do you think you are? And he can't stand it.
And when you looked at the car, you thought, gosh, that looks just like my vehicle, right?
Except for the rims, yes, sir.
Sure, we'll get to the rims in a second. In fact, let's talk about that right now.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to slide 41. One second. Slide 40. All right. So, you see that picture right here of the rims?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, do you see, if we're talking like clock positions, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you know what I'm talking about? If I'm referring to that?
The 12 o'clock is north.
Yes. So 12 o'clock is
Or up?
totally to the top, and then you've got 6 o'clock is to the bottom. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So look at this bottom right-hand picture. Isn't it true that when you look at the front wheel, the spokes on this wheel are not all the same size, correct?
Right.
They alternate in thickness,
Correct. Correct.
At the 12 o'clock position, it's a narrow spoke, right?
Yes, sir.
And then the next two on either side of it widen out. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And in the 6 o'clock position, that's a fat, wide spoke. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's surrounded by two narrow spokes. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it totals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different spokes. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And just to be clear, whenever you look at one spoke, let's say at the 12 o'clock position, when you look at the opposite position, it's the thicker one, right?
Yes, sir.
And so if you look at a smaller one, if you look the opposite direction, it's going to be thicker, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that, when we look at the picture of this widened spoke on the killer's car, you see that on this wheel on the front, and you see it on the back wheel. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Publishing 322.
Okay, really quick. I just want to break that down for you guys that may not know. So Robert Tellis did a narrative testimony. So he was able to just kind of get up on the stand and tell his story kind of without being questioned. I forget why he was allowed to do that. I think he was like representing himself initially, and then I forget how it came about, but I guess in Las Vegas, they allow this narrative testimony, which I've never seen before. But during his portion of his testimony or something like that, he brought up, or they may have some evidence of someone online who, like a random person, not even like a verified rim specialist or Denali specialist, nothing like that. It was just a random person that commented online that said the spokes don't match or the wheels don't match. And Robert Tellis, ran with it. Robert Tellis treated this comment as fact and saying, like, oh, well, King Bob said the tires don't match, so it must not match. And it's like, but it clearly does. And so, what the prosecution is referencing in that moment is the fact that you could see that the spokes are different sizes in one photo, which I'm sure he's about to show in a moment, of the red Denali, maroon Denali at the house. The spokes are in a different position. So yes, it doesn't match in that moment in the same position, but they are the same wheels. It's the same wheels. It's just turned as the tire turns, the spokes will move. So it was in a different position in that moment when the photo was taken. So with that, Robert Tellis says, I'm innocent. And it's like, no, you're not.
That's your car, isn't it?
Okay, perfect. Sorry. This is a perfect example. So if you guys just saw the last photo we were looking at, it was skinny, small, skinny, small. That's the Denali rim. And he's trying to say, well, no, it doesn't match because it was in a different position. It's like, Robert, could you imagine being married to this man? He's a psychopath. What are you talking? It matches. It matches clear as day.
Yes, sir.
There's no doubt about it, is it?
No, I don't believe so.
That is the car that you don't normally drive, isn't that right? Because you drive a BMW.
Right. I drive it occasionally to make sure that the battery doesn't die.
Right. Let's look at your wheels, because your testimony was, my rims are different. Let's look, no, sir, no question pending. Let's look at the front tire. You see the front tire?
Yes, sir.
The one closest to the 12 o'clock position is thick, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
The one directly opposite that, closest to the 6 o'clock position, is narrow, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Just like the car in the video, isn't that correct?
It has the same type of rims, yes.
It does. But that's not what you just told that jury on direct examination. You said you looked at a tweet from General Bob Custer, and you felt, oh gosh, my rims are different. Remember you told me?
I'm sorry. General, I said, what did I say? Billy Bob or whatever. General Bob Custer is the person who commented. And now we're running with it as fact, as law. You can see the annoyance on his face. It's hysterical.
Yes, because
You relied on some person in the Twitterverse named General Bob Custer to give you peace of mind about whether or not your car matches the killer's car.
yes,
So, now looking at your rims, because let's look at them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spokes on that wheel, correct?
yes, sir.
Just like the killer's car.
Similar
Right.
to the killer's car, yes,
Not
sir.
similar, exactly like it, correct?
But they're not the same rims.
Yes. Sir, then let's take it this way. The 12 o'clock position is a fat, wide spoke, correct?
Yes, sir.
The 6 o'clock position is narrow, correct?
Yes,
When we look at the photograph of the killer's car, it had that same pattern, isn't that right?
yes, sir.
And when we look at the other rims, let's say we're looking at a rim here in about the 1 o'clock position, it's narrow, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when we look at the opposite, it thickens, correct?
Yes, sir.
Just like the killer's car in the video, right?
Again, similar to the killer's car.
Right. And it's the same way on all of your wheels, isn't that right?
Right.
Okay. Now, if we could cue back over to the PowerPoint presentation. Let's look at these windows. Bottom right-hand corner, sir. The front windows are not tinted, are they?
You cannot tell me. You can never tell me. This prosecution attorney did not cook Robert Tellis. He cooked him on every level, sauteed him. You were only 20 minutes in, barely. And he is demolishing him on the stand. I think we're 15 minutes in, actually. Demolishing him on the stand. He gets into the mirror, to the glass. And then we're all going to say, okay, that looks like someone who has hair, right? I'll agree that looks like, and we could tell Robert Tellis has no hair, which I think he knows. Does he wear a wig?
No, sir.
But the back ones are, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's cue over to your car. Your front windows are not tinted, correct?
That is correct, sir.
And your back ones are, correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. Coincidence?
I don't think so. I think the killer got a car like mine.
Okay. So you would agree your car looks exactly like the killer's car?
No, sir.
No, it doesn't?
There's a difference with that paint on the lower left-hand side that Mr. Mogg testified about.
Okay. Let's talk about other similarities. We've seen footage from the video with the visor down, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I could pull up the slide, but we don't need to because you remember seeing it on the survey, on the videos, right, from the
Right.
PowerPoint?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, publishing 317. And look at that. Your visor's down, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're suggesting that your professional hitman in the funny hat knew about your visor as well?
I'm saying that Mr. Mogg pulled my visor down.
Ah, but you didn't see that, did you, sir?
I didn't see him do it, but
Right. You didn't.
Really quick. So Robert Tellis is suggesting that the law enforcement, the commissioner's office, or the I think it's called like the state commissioner, public what is it called? Public it'll come to me. The realtors, pretty much everyone that he's ever come in contact with, aside from his mother and his wife, have all been in cahoots and in a conspiracy to take him down. So all the detectives, Detective Jappy, this other one that he's talking about now, they all cohesively worked together to take down Robert Tellis. How did they do that? They tracked him. They rented a car just like him. They murdered Jeff German just because they figured he would want Jeff German murdered, not because they had their own personal beef with Jeff German. It was just to frame him. So they murdered a completely innocent man just to take him down. It's like, why wouldn't they just kill you if they hated you so much? Why are they going to kill this random man just to put you in prison? But okay. So this is who he's talking about right now, that all had this conspiracy to take him down.
See it with your own two eyes, correct?
that is correct.
You're just telling it out of whole cloth, correct? You're speculating. Isn't that right?
I'm speculating just to the extent of who exactly did it, but sure.
Right. You don't even know who it was, correct?
It could have been another officer, yes.
Okay. So now it's not just Officer Mogg that's part of this conspiracy. There's other officers too. How many officers were part of this conspiracy?
I don't know.
Well, please tell me. How many do you think are involved?
I couldn't tell you, sir.
So you have no idea, but you think it might be Mogg and another officer, but you just can't come up with a number,
Well,
correct?
Mr. Mogg actually made some false representations about what happened. So yes,
Okay.
I mean, so
Sir,
I
isn't
don't know
it-
what his motivation would be otherwise.
Sir, isn't it possible that in your rush to drive back home, you just didn't even realize that the down visor might even be something of significance? Isn't that possible?
No, sir.
No. So you believe that it must have been the police, but you never witnessed anything like that happen?
I just
Correct?
know that I did not commit the murder, so that could not have been
Okay.
my car
I
or my
understand you're
visor.
not taking responsibility, sir, but just to get back to my question, you never saw anyone manipulate your car, correct?
I never saw anyone firsthand, no.
Thank you. But the visor is down, just like the killer.
And
Correct.
anyone could have removed it at any point in time,
The
sir.
answer to my question is yes. The visor is down, just like the killer's Yukon, correct?
Anyone could have moved it at any point.
So the answer to my question is yes.
At
The
what-
visor is down, just like the killer's car.
You're talking about, obviously, at this point in time.
Your visor is down in your Yukon, just like the killer's Yukon, correct?
Again, without knowing who did it, yes.
Thank you.
His inability to get to a yes without asking him the same question 15 times is what got him convicted. Because why can't you just answer the question? It's like you're trying to constantly do a spin, but we know you're trying to spin.
You were here yesterday and you talked for approximately 2 hours. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
And then you came here this morning and you talked for another hour or so, correct?
Yes, sir.
There's one thing I didn't hear you mention. The DNA. I'd like to talk about that with you. You're not disputing that your DNA is underneath Mr. Gehrman's fingernails, are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay. But you've heard the testimony. It's there, correct?
I don't know if it was there or at what point it might have gotten there, sir.
Okay. I'm not asking you how it got there. Are you really denying that your DNA is underneath the fingernails?
Without knowing the truth, yes, I am.
Okay. Well, you've heard witnesses testify.
Right.
So the DNA lab's in on it too?
I don't know. I don't know at what point. I don't know what point the sample was collected.
Sir, please tell this jury how.
Is the DNA lab in on it too? I'm sorry, that's such a genuine, because it's like he's like, oh wait, is the DNA lab in on it too? Wait, I didn't have that noted down. It's like it's so absurd. How many people are in on this to take you down? You're not that important.
In the world does your DNA get underneath Mr. Gehrman's fingernails?
I don't know because I did not kill Mr. Gehrman.
You have no idea how it could have gotten underneath your fingernails, correct?
Under my
I'm
fingernails?
sorry, under his fingernails, correct?
I don't know that it ever was, sir.
All right. Let's do it another way. You and Mr. Gehrman are not friends, are you?
No,
Okay. You don't hang out with him ever?
sir. I did not ever hang out with Mr. Gehrman when he was
The answer to
alive.
my question is yes. You didn't hang out with him ever, correct?
I did not.
He's never invited you over to his house.
No, sir.
You've never hung out, had drinks at a bar, correct?
No, sir.
There would be really no opportunity for him ever to put his hands on you in any sort of social situation, correct?
Correct, sir.
And yet, these two people who are not friends, your DNA just happens to be underneath his fingernails. Correct?
No, sir.
Okay. You just don't think it was legitimately placed there, correct? Or are you just ignoring the testimony of all of the witnesses that talked about how your DNA was underneath the fingernails?
Again, at some point or another, I believe it was planted because I did not kill Mr. Gehrman. So,
Great. And by that logic, if you believe it was planted, you are at least admitting, yes, my DNA is underneath his fingernails, correct? Can you at least agree with me on that?
whether it came from a sample of the fingernails or a different sample altogether, I don't know. I couldn't tell you,
But
sir.
the answer to my question is yes. You're at least acknowledging my
No, sir.
physical DNA is underneath the fingernails.
No, sir.
Okay, great. So you're just going to disregard what all the other DNA witnesses said about this, correct?
And,
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. Totally fine.
So he's denying that his DNA was even under his fingernails. Robert, even if you wanted to say they framed you, fine, but your DNA was definitely there. Oh my God. Crime pathologists have testified that his DNA was there. So just to be clear, he's just ignoring that.
Let's I still want to touch on this. You would agree that if I came up to you and I scratched your face or scratched your chest, there's a possibility I could get skin cells underneath my fingernails, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You would agree that if someone was trying to fight for their life and were scratching at the killer, they could potentially get DNA from the killer underneath their fingernails. That's a possibility, right?
Is that speculation or is that?
No, I'm just asking you if it's a possibility.
I would imagine so.
Okay. Let's talk about your house for a second. When they went over to your house, they took a look underneath your couch. Publishing 224. That's your couch, right?
That is my couch.
And underneath your couch is a shoe and a chopped up shoe, right?
Right.
Okay. That's
I love how the pictures just keep getting more and more zoomed in. But you see a chopped up shoe there. They're going to get into the shoe. That's Robert Tellis's shoe. He is kind of claiming that someone planted the shoe deep underneath his couch and chopped it up. First of all, why would they chop? If they're trying to frame you, why would they chop up the shoe? Wouldn't they want all the evidence there? One. Two, someone breaking into your house and planting a shoe under your couch like that.
that's the gray Nike, correct?
Pure so, yes, sir.
Publishing 228. That's what it looks like, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's gray in color, correct?
Yes.
It is a Nike brand, correct?
Yes, sir.
It has a black swoosh, correct?
Yes, sir.
It has 4 horizontal, or at least vertical bars in the middle of that shoe, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You would agree with me. That's the shoe that the killer was wearing, correct?
I don't know that that's the case.
You don't know. Well, it sure looks a heck of a lot like it, right?
Yes, it could be the same model, but it could be a different size.
Sure. Let's just look at it.
Hmm?
I mean,
I don't disagree that it's
It's the exact same shoe. What are we talking about? It's the shoe, Robert.
a model.
right. It's the exact same type of shoe, right?
Right.
Okay. So we're not in dispute about that. We can agree on that, right?
Right, yes, sir.
And your DNA is in those shoes that are found in your house, correct?
I don't know that to be the case.
Okay, but that's the whole thing of it's a setup and I think the DNA people are framing me. Something along those lines, right?
Whether it's them or someone else,
You've
sure.
heard the results. The results say that your DNA is in that shoe. We did hear that, correct?
That is what we heard.
Okay. And you just think it's just another part of the conspiracy to somehow get your DNA into those shoes.
So I believe that there are officers who, when they think that a fellow officer needs help plugging holes in the case, that they're willing to do what they have to.
Okay. All right. You'd characterize this case as a case that has holes?
I think that Detective Jappy decided he wanted me for this, and everybody decided to assist him because they thought,
Jappy's a part of it now, too.
oh, he's always
So
been.
we've got the DNA lab, we've got Jappy, we've got Mog. We haven't even touched Compass yet. We will. We'll get there because they're part of it, too, correct?
So they paid Detective Jappy, yes.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to get to all that.
So we got Detective Jaffee, we got Mog, we got the DNA lab, we got Compass Realty, all in conspiracy to take Robert Tellis down because he's the most powerful man in Las Vegas.
in
Of
a
course,
second.
absolutely, sir.
So here's the thing. Are the shoes underneath the sofa of your house, are those actually your shoes?
That I don't know for sure. I do have similar ones, but again, I have not,
Oh, you similar. Publishing 360.
All right, I'm gonna shut up, I swear, because I'm gonna wrap this one up soon. But when I tell you, this prosecution attorney makes me laugh so hard because you can see how annoyed he is the entire time. And I don't blame him. He actually makes me realize maybe I couldn't be an attorney, a prosecution attorney, because I would be up there like, are you freaking kidding me? He has a certain skill set, very similar to Georgia Cappleman, where they have this I don't want to say condescending because it's not. It's kind of like a passive aggressive way of questioning and oh, so they didn't? Oh, you haven't? And they know the truth. They know they're lying, But for me, it's like when I know someone's lying, it's like you're lying. Stop lying. But you can't be like that with a person like Robert Tellis because it doesn't matter. So yeah, but he makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shoe, isn't it?
It is potentially the same shoe as the one, yes.
Oh, sir,
Mm-hmm.
you're not doubting that this is a photograph of shoes that belong to you, correct?
Right.
Okay.
This is me.
So this wasn't planted evidence, right?
The picture of the shoe, no.
Okay, great. And you were claiming ownership over that shoe, right?
Right.
So it's gray in color, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got the black Nike swoosh, correct?
Right.
It's got the 4 black horizontal bars in it, right? And you would agree with me, when you wore those shoes, you probably left your DNA behind there in those shoes, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're saying now that it's just a pure coincidence that the exact same type of shoe sitting underneath your couch in your house with your DNA on it, that's not the shoe?
Remember that I was under surveillance by Detective Jappy, and this was on a day that I was under surveillance.
Let's get back to my question, sir.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me that the shoe that you see in that photograph, that you claim ownership on, that you say you put your DNA in, that looks identical to the shoe that's underneath your sofa, underneath the recliner, you're saying those two are not the same shoes?
I don't know that they are.
Okay. It's just another crazy coincidence, right?
When somebody chops up a shoe and puts it under the couch, that's a little strange.
Right. And here's the interesting thing. Look at the date on this. This is August 19th,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, sir.
So
And again,
we're talking,
surveillance started at 8:16.
Right. No. But this image is in your phone, right?
This particular image, I'm sure I'd likely texted it to my wife to say, "Hey, I'm rock climbing indoors."
So here's the thing. How? Oh, so you're saying, okay. So you believe because you were under surveillance, what? That they knew the type of shoes you were wearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You've seen the photos from the surveillances, right?
I have seen some of the photos from some of them. Not everything was produced to
You're
me.
not wearing the Nikes.
Not everything was produced to me, sir.
Okay. Of what was produced to you, which was everything,
It was not.
you're not wearing the Nikes on the days that you're surveilled. Isn't that right?
This
Sir,
819 was
Sir, I
during.
need you to focus on my question. Isn't it true on the days that you are surveilled, you're not wearing the Nikes, correct?
That is not true.
Okay. So we'll pull them and we'll take a walk down that lane, because every single day, isn't it true you are not wearing the Nikes?
That is not true, sir.
Okay, you're wearing your little moccasins, the gray ones, the topsiders. Remember those? You own those, right? You own the gray topsiders, right?
What are topsiders? I don't know.
I'm dating myself, I guess. But they're like a boat shoe. They're kind of like it's like almost like a grayish felt, but they're not Nikes. You were wearing those when you were surveilled, correct?
If you want to put the photos, I can confirm
The
whatever.
answer to my question is no, you don't know the answer as to what shoes you're wearing on the days you were surveilled.
I have like a tan shoe that I probably wore during some surveillance.
Don't worry. We'll get the photos and we'll go through it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So here's the thing. If Compass Realty framed you, how in the world would they know about these shoes?
Again, I said that I was under surveillance by Metro on this date, 8/19, and obviously they took photos and they provided those to Detective Jappy.
Okay.
So
what? And then Jappy did what with them?
pass them to whomever he needed to. Again, I didn't commit the murder, so.
Okay. So, sir, there's no way Compass Realty could know you had shoes like that.
They're
Correct?
not without being informed.
Okay. And this phone and this data about your phone isn't produced until after you're arrested, correct?
I don't know when it was produced.
Okay. You had your phone with you on the day that you're arrested, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, you didn't give it to Jappy in early September, did you?
No, sir.
No, you had it with you the whole time until you get arrested, right?
That I know, yes, sir.
And that was on
So how would they know what's in your phone? Like, this is what doesn't make sense. He tries to, like, I heard someone say recently, you sound smart to dumb people. And honestly, I don't even think Robert Tellis sounds smart to anyone. But it's like he can make up little arguments to say, oh, well, I don't know. Like he makes a little bit of like doubt, like, oh, I don't know. Maybe that was on the day you were following me. And spoiler alert, it does come out that the jury does have issue. They take issue with the fact that Robert Tellis was being followed, and on the day he wasn't being followed is the day this murder was committed. It's like that is kind of weird. But that was a coincidence. And yes, coincidences can happen, but he's trying to make it seem like all of this was part of it, and all of this was like a major like conspiracy, and they all planned and plotted to put this together. So it's ridiculous. We're gonna give it like a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna cut it off here, and then we'll come back for the next part.
7th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the only way anyone could learn about information inside your phone would have to be after the murder was committed, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. You think there's a way that someone could have found the contents of your phone prior to the murder?
We heard earlier about the fact that someone can actually hack phones, yes. And whether it was that they found it that way or by surveillance?
We heard about the hack. It was just a question asked by your attorney. No witness ever testified that your phone was hacked, correct?
But you asked if there was only one means, and no, there's more than one means, sir.
Okay. Sir, let's just be clear about one thing. You have had possession of your phone through the entire month of August of 2022, correct?
It wasn't in my sight 24/7.
Sure, but you weren't loaning to anyone, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't give it to Compass Realty, correct?
That would be weird.
Yeah, it would be. You didn't give it to Derek Jaffe, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't give it to Cliff Mogg, correct?
No, sir.
Because you didn't even know who Cliff Mogg was at that point, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't give your phone to anybody from Metro, correct?
That's correct, sir.
All right, so now let's get to some of the other interesting things that are in your phone. Oh, by the way, and you also have DNA on the scissors, right? Or are we denying that? Or is that one you're at least acknowledging because of the cooking thing?
No, my blood was on those scissors.
Okay, so Metro got that one right.
Yes.
That wasn't a frame job.
No, well, I do think that they used some of the DNA from that, but...
Before we move on, I gotta ask you this too. So like if Metro's really, so you think Metro's framing you for this?
As I said before, I think that we've got some officers who are overzealous and who've decided to help Jaffe plug holes in his case,
Sure.
not knowing what his relationship was with Compass Realty.
Here's
I object,
Sir?
if you'd be allowed to answer the question before.
Okay.
The next question, please.
Sir, I got a question for you. If the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department wanted to frame you, why didn't they put the murder weapon in your house?
I think that maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I mean,
Great question, because if
It is.
the murder weapon that had Gehrman's DNA in was inside your house, wouldn't that be an even better case?
yeah, but at the same time, I think if...
But it's not there, is it?
No.
No, it's not. Even though, according to you, they control everything, they don't put the murder weapon on you?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
I think it does.
Okay. How about this? If Compass Realty wants to kill you, why don't they encourage Metro like, we'd really like you to put the murder weapon in there? Why didn't they do something like that?
I don't know.
That seems really odd that the most significant thing is not in your house, correct?
I think what's odd is that 5 days after the murder, that supposedly there was a shoe
So the answer
and
to my
also a
question-
hat in my house.
So the answer to my question, the most significant piece of evidence, the murder weapon, is not in your house despite your theory you've been framed.
That's correct, sir.
Let's talk about this. We've seen the picture of the killer. What's the most notable thing, by far the most notable thing on the killer's person?
It's either the hat or the shirt.
It's the shirt, right?
Mhm.
And that shirt is not in your house, is it?
No.
If Metro or Compass or Rita or Cliff all wanted to frame you, why didn't they put the bright orange coat in your house?
I couldn't speak to that. All I can tell
Doesn't
you is,
that sound not very professional if they're trying to set you up?
I don't know, maybe for plausibility's sake, they put half the
Oh,
stuff
they
in
want to
there. I'm
dial
not
it
sure.
back.
I don't know.
Okay. Here's another thing. Why don't they cover your car in Gehrman's DNA? Why did they do that?
Because they didn't have access to the car until the day that Mr. Mogg took photos.
But they have, I mean, they control everything. They take it to their CSI garage and they rub it full of DNA. Why is there no DNA of Gehrman in your car? And if they want to frame you, why isn't it there? Do you have an answer for that?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay.
And we'll pause it there. Sir, I don't know. I don't know. Because you don't have an answer, okay? Robert, tell us, you're a horrible murderer. You think you're better than you are. You think you're this high power, oh, I could do anything I want. I can murder. I can control people in the office. I can tell everyone they can't talk to each other. They can't be friends. I can do it all. That's what you think of yourself, Robert Tellis. But guess what? You lose today. Okay, well, this case happened a couple of years ago, but you lose on this case day. Okay? You lose. Anyway, thanks so much for joining today, guys. I will catch you again on the next one. We're going to wrap it up. Well, we're probably going to do 2 more episodes on this one. I think I'm going to break it up into 3s as I normally do. But thanks so much for joining again. See you guys again soon. Bye.